Hey guys, Redbeard here. Look, been doing a lot of shorts and stuff. I know you probably, some of y'all are enjoying that. Some of y'all are probably tired of that. Anyway, truth is, I was waiting on some parts to come in. Well, they came in. So, old Waffles here. We took her out to East Smithfield the other day to the parade and ran through the parade route. Had a lot of excitement, believe it or not, for a parade. It was pretty eventful. Big old, like 12-row monster combine, brand new. Oh, it's terrible. They started it up, and when they went to move forward, the swing arm, the big boom, I'm not a farmer, I don't know, but it swung out. Like the hydraulics failed open. And he got tangled up in some lines and hit a couple telephone poles. Nothing came down, but it was pretty entertaining to watch. I felt bad for the old boy, but they got him untangled out of the way. And so as we went through the parade route, we got to the other end. Little Model T pickup was overheating. And I didn't realize that. We went on and parked up by the trailer. Well, they were just back 100 yards or so. And antique semi, rat rod, had big super singles on it. He pulled the Model T over into the grass there by us, and then he got stuck. So Sammy Mog with a little 1-inch lift strap, or not Sammy Mog, sorry, Waffles, a little 1-inch lift strap, hooked on to pull the semi out. And I went about as you expected, and I rushed in to put her into low range, and the transfer case shifter just twisted. Would not go into low range. So we did pull him out in two-wheel high, got loaded up, brought it home and everything. 99% chance it is just a transfer case shift sheet, they call it, bushing. When I rebuilt this transfer case, yeah, the one that was in there was worn, and I was pushed for time and was in a hurry, and so I didn't change it out. I just put an O-ring in there and shimmed it up. My guess is the O-ring has failed and the shifter and everything has dropped too low. It's fairly common, so we're going to go through fixing that today. I did get a brass shift sheet in, and we're going to install that, and that should be the last time we have to work on that. So that's kind of where we're at. I'll kind of show you a few of the steps there. I've already pulled the shift boot up and the little trim off. It's just 4 screws, hold that in. And I'm going to roll underneath and undo the lock ring, pop it up, pull the shifter out. Hopefully we haven't bent or tweaked it. Never done that in the past, but hey man, it's Waffles. Anything's possible. You've seen that watching these videos. So I'm going to get that done tonight, get that put back together, test it out. I think we're heading down to Bloomsburg tomorrow morning. The 4x4 Nationals are in town. They're doing some mud trucks, tough trucks, monster truck drag racing, side-by-side racing. Basically arena truck stuff, right? And I've never been to anything like that. I've been to monster truck like here in Troy, and we've been to demolition derbies and whatnot, but to actually see little tough truck tracks, I thought it'd be pretty fun. Originally we had talked about trying to bring Sammy Mog or Waffles down for the show and shine, or at least set up, so we'd have a place like a base camp, kind of wander around, check everything out. But we didn't get registered in time, and then we had to drop them off too early. We didn't have enough time to drop them off and then be there every day and then pick them up Sunday afternoon. So it's about 2 hours down there. So it wasn't really something I was worth going every day. We could have stayed, but staying 4 nights for that, 3 nights, we just decided it wasn't quite worth it this time. So we're going to check it out, see how it is. Be a big vendor infield and whatnot. Going to get to walk around and look at all kinds of aftermarket parts that have zero chance of fitting anything we own. But there may be some one-off stuff, maybe something we'll pick up there. It'd be kind of cool. So looking forward to heading down there in the morning. We'll get some video footage of all that. And man, I got some travels coming up out west. Kind of excited about that. I'm going to get to go spend some time in northwest Wyoming coming up. And the following week I'm in Denver, so I may just stay out there and get to go up into Yellowstone and wander around and do some stuff. So that'll be kind of a nice break there at the end of the summer. But anyway, guys, that's where we're at. That's what we're looking at. So hopefully I get this shifter done. We're going to get this thing shifting. And then as far as I know, I got some little wiring things to do. And I got to get that rear axle sealed up. Transmission is leaking out around the shift shaft, where the shifter shaft goes in. Talked to several guys. I don't know that it's worth ripping out because everyone I'm talking to has a similar leak. And I don't know that any of them have tried resealing it. But I feel like for what it is, Transmission fluid's pretty cheap. And it's not leaking that bad. The rear differential, I got to get that squared away. And I'm really nervous that's from that drive shaft being too long. But we're going to find out. Good news is we did drive it around. I put some copper core plugs in. It did run good for the whole parade route, which it's just a parade route. Now you got to understand, we haven't had a lot of long duration runs without issues on Waffles yet. And we didn't overheat. We didn't have any issue. Our temp probes worked. Everything worked for the whole event. So that's good. The other really cool thing we've learned is our wipers do function. We just don't have them. So I had been nervous about even clicking the switch on because I was like, it's going to blow a fuse, start a fire or something. Who knows, man? Because I hadn't went through that circuit yet. Well, believe it or not, it all still functions. So I just need to order a set of wiper arms or get some off Steven. I don't know, whatever I got to do. Throw some new blades on there. And we actually have windshield wipers on Waffles. And I know from Sammy Mog, I can rig up an aftermarket reservoir and pump for like 25 bucks off Amazon, and I can actually get the windshield wiper squirter going again. So with all the rain and humidity and everything, the windshield fogging over has been quite an issue. Last few times we've been out, morning and evening, we're having big temperature swings and high humidity, so it doesn't take a lot to fog the windows over. And then you mix in a little rain and things get pretty exciting. It's hard to see. So lots going on. We'll get this video going. We'll do some highlights. Not really highlights. It's pretty straightforward, but we'll kind of go through it. Because if you own a Samurai, at some point, you're going to have to do this. It's part of owning a Samurai. So anyway, follow along. Check us out. See how it goes. Hey guys, Redbeard. Look, I got all that dug out. Anyway, it looks like the original boot has separated, the original bushing. And you can see here, that's what I shimmed it up with. I bought this brass ring. I'm going to drop that down in there. So the shifter, it's not perfect, but it's not eat up too bad. It's going to work. I'll put a little grease on it. We'll be good to go. But if you've ever done one of these, access is a bit tight. You can see down in there, it's where the shifter goes. And anyway, you got to line the forks up like it's in 4 high before you do all this. So that's real important. You're going to fight getting it in if you don't. So anyway, what happens is this drops down below those set screws, or those set pins there. And if you hold it up, you can still shift it if you get it just right. So there we go. That's 2 high. And that's 4 high. And then you would bring it over. And anyway, you have to get it just right. So, back in the day, you used to buy these Samurais for a couple $100. And you'd pull up an old boy's field. And he'd have one with a bad transfer case, or it wouldn't move or something. And man, you could pick it up for $200 or something, jiggle that shifter around, and get it to drop into gear and drive it up on there. This is a common point of failure down in there. Don't laugh at that intermediate shaft. It's pretty rough. It's one of the few original parts left. But anyway, that's what it is. I'll drop that bushing down in there. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the shift ball, or whatever you want to call it. And we should be good to go. So check back in. Redbeard here again. Look, we're inside of Waffles. I dropped that bushing in. Everything felt pretty good. I had to touch it up just a hair to get it over the thing. I didn't want to distort it with a punch, so I just shaved in the little groove a little bit, and we made her go. But look, so we're in 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and then low. And if you know anything about Suzuki's, low is always a bit tricky. And I'm convinced that over time the shifter tweaks. And so I have went ahead and clearanced here. I don't know if you noticed this or not, because there's nothing more frustrating than starting up a hill and having that pop out. Now, with the cage we have in here, I'm not worried about the body flexing. It should move with the frame. So shouldn't be an issue at this point. But look, 4 low, neutral, which actually locks the front and rear inputs together and just kick. Front and rear outputs lock together in neutral. Input goes to neutral. There's high. High is anywhere in this range. and then there's too low, or too high, sorry. I have not done a modified shift pattern to have too low as an option on here. With the drive flanges, there is absolutely no purpose that I can come up with. Maybe you can maneuver it a touch tighter to get on a trailer or something, maybe. But it's really not worth it to me. If something goes wrong with these shifters, I may look into just twin sticking it. I don't mind the twin sticks, but even the twin stick pattern, I'm not as big of a fan on this transfer case as I am, say, the Dana 300 that's in Semi-Mog. I do like the way its twin stick works. This one's a little bit different. You've got twin stick in this situation. You've got 2-wheel, 4-wheel on one stick, high-low on the other stick. It's not individual axle outputs. So anyway, guys, that's where we're at. I think we're good. I'm going to bolt it all back up, and we'll give her a little test drive. All right, guys, we got the transfer case back together. We're going to give it a shot. I'm in 4-low, axle's locked. This is that log that Nick got hung up on. And we're doing the same thing. So let's try it again here. There we go. There we go. That's it.